is pull down the heavens. We're going to do, usually what you do is you gently gather energy from the earth, from the heaven, and as you breathe out, you have it go through, but it's spring, so we're working on our tendons. So what we're doing is open your hands as much as you can. You're reaching behind, stretching everything, looking at your middle finger, turning to the other side, and then breathe out and relax. Stretch everything, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. So what we're going to do is going to do the other way. Stretch your hands open as much as you can. Look at your middle fingers. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, so we do something now called shake the 9 gates. You want to really open up your body so that it's really loose. The muscles are loose. The joints are open. Getting the kinks out of our nervous system. We're moving up and down. So we're turning slightly side to side. We're trying to get the sluggishness, the stickiness out of our internal organs so that the energy that we're going to produce can flow through our body. And just generally, our heart, liver, intestines, everything's working much better. Loose. Pull your fingers, throw them out. Just take a few breaths with your abdomen. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Focus on your hands. We're just going to stretch a little bit so you're holding a ball of energy. You turn it over and then you push up your hands. You're palming the ceiling. This is splitting heaven and the earth. You're palming the heavens. So you're pulling your hands back there and you're palming the earth. Turning over. The other side. Now, if you can, you stretch. And if you can, if your balance is okay, what you want to do is when you go up, you want to see if you can go up on your toes to engage your calves. That's considered your third heart in Chinese medicine because it pushes fluids out of your lower body, out of your legs, and into your body where your system can expel the waste and add nutrients to your blood. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. So there's one more. Breathe in. Breathe out. So when you practice, we're going to talk about breathing for just a second. So when you practice, as you get older, your breath goes up. And pretty soon you're just breathing in your chest. That's called, flight or fight. So all your adrenaline comes up. You're breathing here, and so you either run away from the tiger or you face it. But that's very bad. Your adrenaline goes out. Your internal organs, like you stop digesting food and things. So you want to have your breath down in your abdomen. This is where babies breathe with their whole body. That's what we want to do. So first we do natural breathing. That's what we normally do during practice. It's very calming and it actually distributes the energy around our body. So you want to breathe in. Your abdomen goes out. Breathe out. Just relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then when you're practicing, you should breathe like practice to say breathe like this all the time. But you're practicing, you have some additional activities. When you breathe in, tongue goes to the top of your mouth. You breathe out, it drops down. And with natural breathing, you breathe in, your stomach goes out, and as you breathe out, you pull up your pelvic floor and you kind of squeeze this during practice a little bit. You're not overdoing it, but so breathe in, then breathe out, pull up your pelvic floor, tongue goes up, tongue goes down. All right, so this is for practice. This is for your health, lowers your blood pressure, calms you, but you also want to generate energy. So the way you do that is you do what's called embryonic breathing. It's because you breathe through your navel. So when you breathe in, you pull in your navel, and you do the other things too. You pull up your pelvic floor and kind of pull in your floating ribs. So you kind of, as you breathe in, you squeeze a little bit, and then as you breathe out, you relax everything. So breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. So your navel comes in, your body compresses, and breathe out, everything relaxes. It's called reverse breathing because you're compressing while you breathe in, and you relax when you breathe out. Okay. So now this is to build chi. So when you breathe in, you visualize you're heating your lower abdomen, and then it's pushing energy up your spine, over the top of your head to your tongue. And then when you breathe out, that flows down to your navel. So breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. So this is if you want to build chi, which you don't build chi all the time because otherwise it kind of can throw you off mentally because you've got too much energy in your head and you start going all over. That's why we usually do natural breathing, which is for your health and calmness. All right, but today we're going to do embryonic or reverse breathing. So first one we're going to do is dragon wags its tail. So you're going to be coming out, you breathe in, breathe out. So you're pulling in your stomach. We're doing embryonic breathing. You're compressing, and then you relax everything as you pull in. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. So you want your feet a little bit more than, say, 1.5 shoulder widths. Now in this one, normally what we do, we open our chest and close our chest, but normally we keep our hips still, and we're doing this. But today, it's dragon shakes its whiskers, so our chest is staying the thing. So when we expand, we stick our end out, we try to arch our back, and then we come back. So these are coordination things too. And don't forget, we're doing the embryonic breathing at the same time. So breathe in, rear end goes out, breathe out, roll your pelvis under, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, rear end goes out, breathe out, breathe in, pull in your navel, breathe out, gather that energy into you've got 3 energy centers. The first one is the lower part of your body, around your navel. Breathe in, breathe out. Now what we're going to do a few breaths. You're going to come out, breathe in, you're going to breathe in, and then you're going to pull it in. Say to your sternum, to your heart area, breathe in. But we're still doing the dragon shaking its tail. So it's stick out your end, come in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Now we're just going to do a few to the upper. So you breathe in, but now you come up. It's like you're washing your face with that energy, and then it's coming down. So breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so now we're going to do a few movements. Normally, we breathe in and out through our nose because your nose was developed has a lot of mechanisms for filtering and saving heat and energy and moisture. But what we're going to do today is we're going to do what's called a cleansing breath. So you're going to breathe in, but instead of breathing out through your mouth, through your nose, you breathe out through your mouth. So this is cleansing breath. We're trying to focus on gathering stale energy and then breathing that out. So we're going to do a movement that's called monkey leaps from tree. So you're coming up, You're lifting your hands up. You're trying to, this is for your lungs. So you're coming up, you're reaching, and then you drop. So hands go up, you're lifting your rib cage off your lungs, and then you're dropping it down and saying ha at the same time to expel stale air from your and waste from your lungs. So breathe in. As monkey leaps from tree. So when you reach up, you can go slightly up on your toes. If you have any balance problems, just keep your feet flat. But otherwise, you can reach up and then drop down on your heels. So you want to reach, and then when you drop down, your hips drop down just an inch or so, and you reach up. Like I said, this is for your lungs. So the other thing is here, if you tap here, you can feel, I can't tap on this side because my microphone's right there. So if you tap here, that's where your lung meridian is. So if you go up and then you drop down, when you hit there, that causes a slight spasm in your lungs, and that causes more, if you time it right, that causes more waste to be pushed out. So if you can't do that, it's okay just to drop your hands. You don't have to hit there below your shoulder blades with the back of your hands. Breathe in. Okay, so, and we're going to use that to introduce some other sounds where you breathe out through your mouth. There's different sounds associated with different organs. So the one we just did was you could use for your lungs, but there's some other sounds, and we're going to do the animals for them. So we're going to do, it's the spring season, that's for your liver. And so the sound for your liver to drive stale energy out of your liver and activate your liver is shh. So you can, if you want, your liver is on your right side, so you can reach, you can breathe in and then shh. So that's kind of squeezing your liver, and then you're coming back. So we're trying to cleanse our liver. Now in Qigong, they have animals associated with it, so you can, while you're cleansing that organ, you can activate your whole body. So what we're going to do is the one associated with your liver is deer, so you're going to take your fingers and pull the two middle fingers in, so you make these antlers. Okay, so what you're going to do is you have your antlers, they're going to go next to your ear. It's kind of, we're going to go down, we're going to go down, kind of eat some leaves off a bush, and then we're going to breathe, just reach up a little bit and eat some leaves off a tree. So you're going to breathe in, and then shh. Breathe in. Breathe in. So you want to lower your hips when you're doing this, so you're engaging those calves, the third heart, and then you're reaching up and hissing. Shh. Okay, so now you can stay with that. If you have good balance and you can reach down, and instead of eating leaves off a bush, you can actually eat some grass, and then you're going to come up, and you can't quite reach those. So if you reach up, you can go up on your toes while you're reaching. If you have bad balance, just stay with the bush and the leaves. Otherwise, we're going to eat off the lawn, and then just go with whatever level you're on. It's all right. As you do it, you'll build up strength and balance, so you'll be able to go to the next level. just do a few more of these. Breathe in. All right, so we're also going to do the heart. So the sound for the heart, of course, to clear your heart is, of course, ah. So you can do the same thing. You can breathe in, and then now we're going to compress the heart while we make the sound, and then when we go back, fresh energy can flow in. So you're going to breathe in. So now we're leaning to the left. Ah. All right, so now we're going to do birds. Red birds are usually associated with the heart and the fight because it's fire. So what we're going to do is going to make the sound, you're going to come up, and then as you make the sound, it's like your wings come back down. So you breathe in, and then for the liver, you're trying to clear anger. For your heart, you're trying to clear anxiety. And then for the people, once again, stay with that if you want. We're just going to do a few more breaths. But the other thing you can do is you can shift your weight to one side. Only do this if you have good balance. But there's different steps. So as you lift your arms, you lift your leg. And then as you breathe out, you bring your foot down. And then you shift to breathe in. All right. So we'll do a couple more. So you've got your stomach, which is worry, because when you worry, what happens? You get ulcers. When you so the sound for that is chew for your stomach to get rid of the worry from your stomach. So you can breathe in. For this, you can just put your hands on your stomach. You can breathe in, and then as we breathe out, you can push in on your stomach and bend over, squeeze. We're trying to compress our stomach to get out the stale. So you can do those. What we can do, actually, there's a sound for your lungs. We didn't do a sound when we did the monkey leaps from tree because that was more physical. You can also do a tiger. So you come up, you breathe in, and then as you breathe out, it's kind of like you're scraping your claws against. So you're coming up, and then you breathe out. The sound for your lungs is hiss. So you're hearing is hiss. Hiss. These are all trying to stimulate the different organs, aiming the specific organs. So there's a whole animal Qigong and healing sound lessons. If you go on our website, you can find them. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we've been doing different breathing ones. So this is actually a coordination one. It looks simple until you start doing it fast. So this is we did it, I think last week for the first time, breath of joy. So you breathe, it's like 3-sip breathing. So you breathe in, you've got your 3 energy centers. So you breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, hold, and then breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. This is 3-sip breathing. So breathe in, hold, breathe out. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do 3 different sips, but this is more energetic. I said this week we're going to do like invigorating, more active breathing movements. So what you're going to do is you're going to do breathe in, your hands come up, breathe in, and then breathe in, and then we're going to breathe out through our mouth, and we're going to drop down. So we're going to breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. All right, so now we're going to do another version. So when you breathe in, cross your hands, then breathe in again, and breathe out. So all right, so what I find, and this happened to me too, and with my students, when I showed them that when you started doing it fast, then it actually became a coordination thing. So you have to be aware of where your body is each time. So it's actually good for building both your mental state because you're going through it quickly, but your body's doing different things on each breath. So you have to be aware, you have to become aware and build up your coordination. So if you couldn't do it, it's okay, but what you can do is you should practice till you can do it pretty fast. And that's actually part of your training. So you can just do this can be one of the things that you pick out, feet apart. So breathe in. And it's also good because you're breathing with your entire body. All right, I'm going to do one last thing. So this is, normally we teach Tai Chi. So in Tai Chi, we're always telling you in Tai Chi, your body moves, it's your hands express what's going on. So generally your hands stay in front of your center line. So when you're doing anything, it looks like your hands are doing all this stuff, but see, my hands are actually staying in front of my heart. So in Tai Chi is water. So it is gently flowing here and your body stays the same. We're going to do something called Bagua. And with that, Bagua is wind. So it's spinning around. So often actually on this, your hands can actually get separated because you're kind of trying to generate a wind. But one of the things we're going to have to do, so now instead of my body moving I have to move in coordinations with my hands. So we're going to do something called serving teacups. And so what you're going to do is you have here, you're going to pick up a teacup and then you're going to serve it to someone over here, and then you're going to switch hands. Now, it sounds like it could be easy, but what happens is we're holding something so our hand can never turn over because now we just spilled the tea. So you're here, you pick up the teacup, now the hard part, you serve it to that person over there. So now you see, my hand stayed flat. So this takes a long time to do, so don't feel bad if you can't do it today. So your hand comes over, you've served the teacup, but now what happens is you got to come back and put the teacup down. But you don't come back here. You come back and you put it, passes over your forehead and go here. So what happens is, because you have to keep, unless you have tremendously flexible arms, in order to keep it flat, you've got to lean back and put it down. So what's happening is you're really working on your mid-body flexibility, plus your coordination, because you got to be aware of where your hand is. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of them, but that's the one we're going to do today. So we're here, you're here, you're picking up the teacup, you're pulling it in. You can rub liver 14 if you want as you go past, but see, your hand stays flat, and then you give the person over there their tea, and then you come back, but you have to lean back and put it back. So then your other hand comes, so you pull in, give them the teacup, but now in order to get back, you have to make a big loop, which means in order to keep this flat, you have to bend back. So here, serve the teacup, and then put the platter down. Pick up the platter, it's got the teacup, serve the teacup, keep the platter flat and put the platter down. The other hand picks it up, under, over, under, pick up the platter. If this is your first time, this is a very advanced move, but I've been doing the last few weeks, we've been doing the 8 brocades, which is a set of 8 exercises you usually do in the spring. You do them all year round. It's just they're kind of in our curriculum, it's the spring movement. So I'm just trying to give you some, if you've been coming, some extra movements. So like I said, this is really good. You're twisting, you're reaching back, you're doing a lot, and it's very hard because it's good for your proprioception. Their hands are doing different things. This hand's staying here, this hand's going down. You got to be aware of the direction of your arm. If you have shoulder problems, obviously you have to do a smaller one. Any of the movements we show you, you have to alter. If you have like weak legs or bad balance, you can't get up on your toes, say. So you can either hold a chair to do it if you're trying to build up the strength, or you can just slowly, like just give little hops as opposed to, say, lifting your hand. And once again, the balance ones, you can often use a chair or be next to a wall, so you can do them just to build up over time. So this is building up, massaging your internal organs, building up your flexibility, but at the same time working on your proprioception. All right, that's probably enough. That's way too much for one day. My teachers say when you teach someone, you're only supposed to teach one thing a day. So got lots of stuff. You can pick out 7 different things and learn a different thing each day. Okay, we're going to pull down the heavens. This time we're just going to gently do it because we're breathing in. We're just trying to maintain all the energy that we build up. Breathe in, breathe out, and then breathe in, breathe out, and then body mind.